The online television station Digitalk is still recovering after Ugandan security forces raided their office in March, confiscating equipment and arresting 9 staffers. Digitalk administrator Farida Bikomere says she was beaten by security forces while in custody.
So they will target the parts of the body that you will be afraid to show. So yeah, even you, I cannot come in them, and unless I'm mad, I cannot come in. They come in front of the camera and dress and show people. Even when I was beaten in my stomach, the bleeding is internal.
Author and Digitalk founder Norman Tumuhimbise says security personnel put a hot leather blanket over his face. They asked him why he continued to annoy the state. He says by writing books that are critical of President Yoweri Museveni and his family.
If our leaders were reasonable enough, they would instead award us for giving them prophecies and wonderful ideas through which they can change this country. No one's at a personal level. I am not against Mr. Museveni and his son or the entire team of those tax beneficiaries, but I am against any form of administrative mismanagement of this country.
Uganda's security forces deny torturing and abusing the journalists. The Digitalk workers were released on bail but were charged with cyber stalking and offensive communication, which could get them up to 7 years in prison. The Human Rights Network for Journalists, Uganda, says there were 131 attacks on media last year, and many were intended to scare them away from covering sensitive issues.
So you really see that journalists towing lines of covering the political dissent, of covering the transition in this country, political transition, but also criticizing the first family and not in a safe haven. It's a very dangerous area for anyone.
Uganda's information minister denies any risk in reporting on or writing about the president or his family, but he warns there is a legal limit.
But also use especially the digital platforms to insult, to abuse, to offend, and some of those communications definitely are against the law of Uganda. So in some instances, security officers may swing into action if somebody is publishing excesses.
The 2021 Press Freedom Index shows that in the past 5 years, Uganda has more than 700 documented cases of human rights abuses and violations against journalists. Halima Athumani for VA News, Kampala, Uganda.